In this video I want to show you how you can set up your own static Git site and also how to set up the Git daemon to allow public cloning of your repositories. So this is my Git site right here. For this example I only have like one project and it's called project. And of course, as the title says, we'll use stagit, which I'll show you in a second. So I'll show you the project, my setup, and so on and so forth. But first the result. So this is it. This is it. This is the project page for a project called project. We have a description here with a clone URL, which I'll show you in a second, and this uses Git daemon. And here are the commits for it. So you can of course click on them. Then you'll see the diff and the commit and the date and the time and whatnot. You can also click on files and you'll see all the files in the repository, and also refs for the different branches. And again, this uses stagit. This is the, stagit generated page for the stagit Git page generator. This is a pretty great project. It's a static binary, or two static binaries technically, and it's written in C, and it's just great. I mean, you can look at the README, it's super minimal, and yeah. So how I use that is as follows. I have a Git directory in my web root whatever, and I have an index file. So this is the index I just showed you. So this is this, and a directory for the project repo, and you'll have a directory for every repo you put on here. So how I use this is pretty straightforward. I call to generate the index, you call the stagit index binary, and then you pass all your repositories as arguments, and then you pipe that into index.html. And for the actual project files, I'll use the stagit binary. So again, these are the two binaries I talked about, with the path to, whoops, not that, but the path to the actual Git repository, so project.git in this case. And if you run that, it will create all these files. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to do to get a page like that. And then you need to point your web server at this, at this page. And you can either do it like this on a subdirectory, or you can also do it on a actual subdomain. Both work. So these just serve the same static files, which I just showed you on the server. So yeah, that's that. Of course, you also want to have, because if you put up a public site like that, you of course want to have, or you want to give people the ability to clone your project. I mean, they can look at the files anyways, so you might as well have them be able to clone it, of course, so they can work with it. And for that, if you set up your own Git server, which I've made a video on with SSH, you will know that it's kind of difficult to do that without anything else, because with SSH you either have to, have like a public password or something, or you have to add the SSH key of everyone to the authorized keys list, and they can then also push to the project and stuff like that. So it's really difficult to set up a read-only Git server with SSH, and that is where Git daemon comes in. And this documentation also, if you go back a page here, it also shows you how to set up your Git server. So it's super straightforward. You just add a Git user, add your SSH key, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But again, that I won't show you that in this video, but rather Git daemon. So Git daemon is a daemon which serves the Git protocol, and it serves all the directories or all the repositories which you want to have publicly available. And on the server side, you can install Git daemon. On Alpine, it's with APK. I think it is Git daemon. Yeah, you need this, and then you also need OpenRC. So the Git daemon package and Git daemon OpenRC package. And for this was actually kind of difficult. I spent like a good chunk of time on this because it didn't work. I installed it, I had it up and running, everything was fine, but it didn't work. And I didn't know why until eventually I found out that if I open up this init file right here, so the Git daemon init file, and I have edited this by hand manually, and you will see this chunk right here. So this is about a bug report, which I have also opened here. So this is about a bug report for exactly this problem, that Git daemon can't access the directories, or the repos rather, because if I go down here, you will see that it actually starts the daemon with the nobody user, so without a user, and the nobody user has like no files belong to this user, obviously. And that was the problem. So you have to mark all directories or all the repositories as quote-unquote safe directories, and that's what you do with these environmental flags here. So yeah, these environmental flags are, I've put them into the correct format for OpenRC right here, and I'll link this on my website if you want to set this up yourself on Alpine. All right, but enough of that. So if you have set it up, you can call OpenRC, git daemon status, and start and stop and whatnot. So you can manage that over that. And then what you need to do is, oh yeah, I think you also need a config file, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, you need to specify the base path here in this config file. So for me, it's var git, because that is the home directory of my Git user. And if I ls that, you will see a bunch of files or a bunch of directories. So the one we really care about is this project.git. So this is the example project I use in this video, but there are also some other repos, for example, for my website or for various software I've written, and some random binaries. I don't know why these are in there. All right, but to make a repository publicly available, you need to create a file in it, and that is this git daemon export OK file. And this, I think this is just an empty file. Yeah, it's an empty file, but it needs to be present. If it is not, the daemon will not serve your Git repository. So that won't work. But if it is, it will serve it. So let me go back to the Git page, because I have this clone URL here, and this URL you need to also set in this project directory in the URL file. And here you just set the URL. So for me, it's so it starts with this Git protocol. So Git :// then your server and your the directory or the Git the directory for the Git repository. So so yeah, and this gets displayed here. So if you copy that, or if I copy that and go here and clone it, it works without anything, without authentication, and it just works. So yeah, pretty good. And this is, oh yeah, I shall if I can speak, I should also mention that the Git daemon sits on port, I think 94 something. So you need to open that in your firewall. Yeah, 9418 it is. All right, so that's the default port for the Git protocol. All right, so yeah, pretty straightforward. Let me think. Oh yeah, I also want to show you. So this is kind of wrong order, but I also want to show you how you can set up a Git hook to automatically update your static Git file. Because again, these are static HTML files. They there's no updating automatically. So you want to have that in your Git hook. So how I do it is with the let me go to this in the hooks directory of your project or of your repo. I always use the post receive hook. So this one right here. And yeah, I have some, so I check for the branch. I only care about the master branch. The rest, I don't know, I do nothing on. So we echo something out. This is kind of unnecessary. Then we check to create, or we ensure that the web directory actually exists. Then we cd into that. Then we call stagit with the Git repository as an argument. Then we go into the parent directory and generate the index file. And I mean, for this example, it's trivial because there's only one project, but you probably want to, or I'll probably outsource this line right here into a shell script, because if you have like multiple repositories which you want to serve, you have to update this line in every Git hook. each time you add or remove a repository. So yeah. Oh yeah, and this line also shouldn't be here. This is for actually cloning the contents of the repository to some directory and checking it out. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and sure, you have you set this to executable. So you need to change mod plus exit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if I now have this repository right here, if I now edit something, and then commit it, so git commit -a-m commit something, and then push it, you will see the git hook run. So here's this echo in the script, and it updates the stagit. So if I now reload this page, there is this new commit, and I can now click on it, and it will show me what's changed. So it's a bit small, I think. So here's the plus and this line I added, and it's also linked, which is really nice. So if you're collaborating with multiple people, you can click on it, and it will add this hash link up top here. I mean, in this example, it's again trivial because these are no large commits, but with larger commits, you can imagine how this is super useful. And this is also the same for the files themselves. So these line numbers are clickable, and they will thus link to the line you clicked on by adding this hash L3 at the top. So adding the ID of the element. So yeah, this is super useful. All right, I think that was pretty much about it. I showed you how to set up the git daemon, showed you how to set up stagit and the hook file, and I might remove the stagit package from my server and compile it from source, because there's like standard styling, and you can change that, of course, and also favicon and whatnot, which you can see I have not added, and stuff like that. Well, no. Let me think about it. I don't need to recompile this. I just need to add the static files. But all right. But yeah, anyways, that was pretty much about it. I will link this bug report and also my solution. So my edited git daemon file, git daemon openrc file on my website. So if you go there and I'll probably also add a git, like one of these boxes for the git, for my git projects. Once I add them all, I'll probably like redo the repositories or whatnot, and add some of my projects there. But if you go to videos, I'll publish this video and add a link to this bug report, and also a note for my solution and whatnot, and also to the git documentation on stagit. All right, so that's about it. That's all I want to show you in this video. I hope this was useful somehow, and have a nice day.